So whose balls were those that we just saw?
I believe those were Johnny's balls.
Johnny's salted chocolate balls.
Smooth, weren't they?
Unicorn cupcake.
It takes a lot of effort to get them that smooth. It really does.
Or were they sweaty balls?
Sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls.
Yucky.
Wait, Aaron, didn't we run something last year?
Boob corn!
What?
Ain't nobody used to give a damn. Yeah, I had to go and make a different plan. Yeah, guess who didn't get included? Even though you made me better, yo, I strictly do it for the fam.
And welcome everyone to What Grinds Our Gears Season 2. Did not know last episode's a season finale? Neither did we!
Right.
Joining us once again is of course myself, V, then my brother Hubs, my sister Sally, and now possibly to kick off season 2 as now regulars are Shweebes and Phoenix.
Oh my god!
Where today's topic comes from Hubs of the Disney acquisition of Fox to its repertoire. Ladies and gentlemen, let us discuss what Disney will now do to fuck up the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, let me say one thing. Honestly, I don't think they're going to fuck it up because Disney is too keen on making money off of that. They're going to hire the people that are necessary to keep that franchise doing exactly what it's doing.
Well, my biggest question, I think, because all Disney did was bought the majority stock in Fox. So they didn't, like, outright buy Fox. Like, whoever's still ahead, what is it, Rupert Murdoch or whoever the hell it is in charge of Fox or whatever?
I think it's Rupert Murdoch.
He's still in charge. It's just that Disney now owns more than he does.
Which involves the X-Men and Fantastic Four last time I checked.
Exactly. And if you remember, not too long ago, after Logan came out, because, you know, Wolverine, Jackman said that he would be willing to come back, but only if he was in the Avengers. So,
I heard it wasn't just buying the majority stock. They also bought movie rights, all of Fox's movie rights, outright. Just, you can make no more movies unless it's through us, which means there will be no more abortion-style Spider-Man 3s. There will be no more terrible X-Men's. There will be no more...
What did you think of Spider-Man Homecoming? Because I just recently watched it.
I put it on my top 10 list for reasons.
I
didn't watch it.
My issue with this movie is it wasn't enough of Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, doing his thing to become Spider-Man. It was Iron Man going, I'm going to show you how to be Spider-Man.
Well, yeah,
and
that's because
Marvel
Marvel
loves their unless I tell you to be Spider-Man.
And that's not Peter Parker. Or
and I'm going to be honest. I'm a fan of all the Spider-Man movies. I love Tobey Maguire in the first, even though the third one was the worst of the three.
Emo Peter Parker.
I'm
sorry, there are only two with Tobey Maguire.
No, there were three. You're just a hater. I still
Phoenix.
I also love Sam. No, is it Sam? Sorry, the director of those three films.
Sam Raimi.
The same director, Raimi, yes. The same director did Evil Dead. I love his directing style. I love it how when you get into a fight sequence, he makes it look like it hurts.
Yeah. You know?
He did that with Evil Dead. He did that with Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man movies. I love his film style, and so I love those three films. I, however, liked Andrew Garfield better in The Amazing Spider-Man for his quippiness and he was just an all-around smartass, you know.
But he wasn't a convincing Peter Parker. That was the problem.
Well, the problem, I think, is that Sony just tried to go back and rehash everything that they had already created instead of just continuing it. You know, and I understand Tobey Maguire wouldn't be part of the fourth film and blah, blah, blah. But instead of going back, because here's the problem you run in with Spider-Man Homecoming. Now you're going back and telling the first story all over again, and only this time everybody is much younger.
But I mean, that's still kind of accurate to where he was in the comics. He was still a high school student and a super genius that made his own webbing, was trying to become a neighborhood Spider-Man in honor of his dead uncle and whatnot. But the problem I had was Marvel's tired-ass formula of trying to be like, you're going to have this weird kind of alcoholic, kind of psychotic mentor figure that's gonna handhold you and basically give you your wildest dreams, just waving in your face like they're trying to be like, you see this pizza? I'm gonna shove it in my pants. You want this pizza now? Come get this pizza. And then
I guess
can I point out one thing you did say though?
What?
You pointed out that he made his weapons, that he became Spider-Man. That's my issue with Homecoming. Iron Man played way too big a part in all of the gadgetry and tech that Peter Parker made. Peter Parker is hands down the second most brilliant guy in the entire Marvel universe.
Yes.
Tantamount to Iron Man, who is bred to be the most intelligent person in existence. He gets smarter every minute he exists. You can't compete with that.
However, Phoenix, how do you explain One More Day, though?
Alcoholism. That's it.
So I agree completely with what you just said. 100%. They didn't show Peter Parker as the intelligent, like Sam Raimi did it perfect in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
They showed that Peter Parker is this genius, this boy genius who figures all this shit out on his own, and he's slightly a detective. You know, he's figuring out, they didn't do that at all in Amazing Spider-Man, and they didn't do that at all in Homecoming. In Homecoming, they made him kind of look like this freaking starstruck teen who barely knew how to fight, unless it was with that super suit, you know?
Yeah.
And then Tony comes in and says, you can't have your super suit, because obviously you're not ready for it. And he figures out how to fight now, without his suit. It's like,
even worse, there was a scene when he was facing off against the Vulture for the first time. His suit activates entirely and goes, we're going to do it our way. You're not in control of this suit anymore. We're going to figure out how to run this suit. Webbing? No. Taser. That's not what I wanted.
Webbing. It's taser webbing, damn it.
Yeah, but that's not what he was trying to do, so it completely made the fight impossible for him. Now imagine we gave you a controller where all of the buttons are inverted and will randomly switch on you, just for being fun. Now you're going to play
in the next film, they make it out that... See, like in the original comics, Peter Parker would have been the one to hack the suit, not his friend.
Yeah, the guy in the chair, as he likes to call himself.
In the comics, he didn't have a guy in the chair. Okay, that's kind of bullshit that they added that in there. It's kind of cool, but it's still kind of bullshit because you get to see the buddy comedy routine, but at the same time, that's not what happened. Marvel fucked up their own freaking storyline, But at the same time, in the next film, I'm hoping that we get to see more of that Peter Parker genius. He's a high school student, supposed to be almost at the same level as Tony Stark. When it comes to brains.
No.
There was only one other person who came even close to matching Iron Man, and that was, I can't remember her name right now, but she created the Ironheart suit.
Hank Pym.
Oh, Hank Pym.
Oh, Hank Pym, yeah, but he in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is an alcoholic, misogynistic asshole that's not Ant-Man.
Yeah, isn't he played by freaking Douglas?
Yeah,
Michael Douglas?
Yeah, he's played by Michael Douglas.
Because the Ant-Man isn't even Henry Pym, who is supposed to be Ant-Man.
Yeah, they're using the second generation Ant-Man.
Ant-Man started as Ant-Man, but Hank Pym eventually became Giant Man.
Right.
Yeah.
And passed Ant-Man down to the character who is playing Ant-Man now.
Which I wouldn't have
skipped Hank Pym.
Which I wouldn't have had a problem if they still had Hank Pym originally. Like, you can't just be like, okay, we have all this continuity stuff. Dan, what is your idea of stuff?
Well, let's see here. We have Ant-Man, who could match Tony Stark and all the intelligence stuff to set up Age of Ultron in a very conveniently organic manner.
And they had Hank Pym, where they could have actually had Hank Pym create Ultron instead of Iron Man, which is the way it was in the comics.
Dan, Aaron, I like that idea. Bruce, what do you got for me? I say we just skip all that shit. We bring in a computer thief, and then just slap a title of Ant-Man on it. Bruce, that's fantastic. You get the promotion. Dan, Aaron, get shit. Get out of here. You're fired.
Well, that's just it, though. It's not like they actually pulled this out of their butt. That character is actually in the Marvel Universe. It's just later in the Ant-Man series. But they do allude to Hank Pym being Ant-Man and the Wasp existing. Yeah. Those characters didn't cease to exist. We just don't cover them in this arc.
Yeah, that was my problem, though, Phoenix. They just showed, they just told instead of showed. That's a big problem as a writer.
So before I digress back to the original topic, I do want to say, I do enjoy the current Marvel Universe that they're building. It does, in some aspects, follow the comics, but in other aspects, movie universe aspect, it's like they're writing their own stories, separate from any of the comics that have been written, right? Because when the Avengers first came out, I actually looked up like the original Avengers team members and whatnot.
More.
Yeah, a lot more.
A ton of Avengers, but the original team, Black Widow's never been on the Avengers team.
Nope, that was Wasp.
It was Wasp. It was Hank Pym, Captain America, Wasp,
Hulk, Iron Man.
Hulk and Iron Man, and that was it. That was it. And then
Thor was a stand-in character. He'd show up for certain comic books and never show up again.
Thor would show up.
He was like their Batman.
Pretty much. He would show up when the going got too tough, and he'd come in, and I even read some of the comics, even when he came in, it was like a short battle. Like, the God of Thunder arrives, boom, you're done, end of story. And then he'd disappear and go on his own quests, you know.
I must leave now, America's captain.
I have to say, I do enjoy the current universe that they're trying to put together, because it's their own story. It's like the Marvel Comics writers are like, we get to make a movie out of a completely new story. That's awesome, and it's big budget. It's not like the Punisher of Dolph Lundgren in the 80s.
Yeah. But that's my thing. A lot of the reasons why people get upset with the Marvel Universe, the actual movie universe, is it's not the same as the original. But if it was, you wouldn't be happy because it is the same.
Right.
It's the same exact story that we've heard hundreds of times over. It's why the Spider-Man series is in such a situation, because it's been done so many times that they're trying to do something new, but if you veer too far, sorry, you've lost all of your fans.
Which is what happened with X-Men movies.
I'm sorry, guys, but I feel like with the Spider-Man scenario, it's kind of like that whole sibling effect. The first one, everyone has that whole big attachment to, because it's just like, okay, yeah, we're gonna try and have you grow up and see what happens. Oh, you went to college and did meth? Okay, we're gonna move on to your middle brother. Okay, you're a little bit cooler. You stand a little bit out of way. Oh wait, you did meth too.
Hey, to that respect, okay, that Tobey Maguire meme is one of the greatest of all time.
Tobey Maguire.
Make that face. When he gets the black suit and he does that freaking creepy smile, he's dancing down the street. Have you ever seen the video of that without the music?
Yeah, it's so goddamn stupid.
Why is he doing this?
Anyways, I'm gonna veer back here. What do you think this means for Fox's X-Men universe and Deadpool and Cable and
probably coming after Infinity Wars, because isn't Thanos supposed to destroy it and then the gauntlet restores the universe?
Well, not only that, but Josh Brolin plays Cable in the new Deadpool movie. So that would be perfect. That would be absolutely freaking perfect for Deadpool movie to break the fourth wall, with Thanos being Josh Brolin and Cable is Josh Brolin.
That would be amazing.
Like, Deadpool comes out and he automatically knows, wait a second, your voice is familiar. Looks at Cable. Holy shit! You're the same person!
That would be awesome.
Even better. Just comes out and sees Cable and goes, hey, where's your glove?
What?
Boom. Just that alone. Just a little nod to it, but then we're gonna move on with the movie. Like Deadpool does. He doesn't in your face with it. He doesn't need to. If you get the reference.
I think this opens more doors for Marvel than it does shut them, really, cinematically speaking. Especially with the Deadpool movie and Ryan Reynolds kind of heading that whole thing.
Oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds alone would just sell box office with his Deadpool. And Sally, you're awful quiet. What are your thoughts?
She's too busy imagining his ass.
When I first heard about Disney buying Fox, my only thought was, Anastasia's a Disney princess, y'all can fuck off. Okay?
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Like, because Anastasia is my favorite animated movie, one of my favorite animated movies of all time. She's my favorite princess. And it's like, oh, she doesn't count. She's not Disney. She doesn't even go here. That meme. And now it's like, well, technically she may not be an official Disney princess, but she's a Disney princess, so give her the credit she deserves, because she didn't do this to get a man. She didn't do this to make someone happy. She did this to find herself, and she was still a princess. She still got a man, and she punched the bad guy in the face. She's like a queen.
And
hold on, Anastasia spent the entire movie being led around by the nose by a guy. Let's be honest here.
Oh no!
Well, she had to be. Well, like with the whole being led around, it was they needed her for the plan. So without her, they never would have even gotten there. To be fair,
it's like the original Star Wars.
But even if she wasn't like found another girl who looks like her and done the act anyway.
But they've already
the fact that they managed to pull the real
they did
princess
it several times already.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, and it failed. So.
Be her.
Yeah, but you know what?
To be honest, to find the diamond in the rough.
To be honest, though, Anastasia's story, not only is it true, well, okay,
it's kind of true.
It was. Oh my God, twisted, but she was real. She was real.
She was real, but
she was real.
The myth behind if she lived or not.
The point I was getting at is, her story is far less tragic and dark than many of the Grimm brothers' stories.
Or Mulan.
Or Mulan, yeah.
Because she almost got molested by the Emperor.
That's true.
Almost.
Or she almost had to work those fleas of her life.
But in like, yeah, they had to train her to like trick people. But when she got there, she did that, like, she found her family and she fit in by herself. Dimitri left and then came back only when he sensed trouble, and when Dimitri was in trouble, she saved his ass, which was like really cool and different than most princess movies.
Future me at this point put on like Once Upon a December in the background. Thank you.
So for those of you out there who don't know who Anastasia is, she was a Russian princess, but was not known at first. Because her entire family, was murdered. This gets into the whole Rasputin thing.
Technically, that's inaccurate because it was
inaccurate.
Because of, I think it was the March Revolution. We had so many revolutions in history class. It was astonishing. It was one of the revolutions that killed the Romanovs, and Rasputin was actually tight with the family except for Nikolai Romanov, where he got poisoned, frozen, stabbed to death, and so forth and so on.
Shot, and then bound and then drowned, and he was still alive. He was thought to be the undead wizard or whatever.
For making a deal with Satan.
He was just Russian. It's something that kind of happens every day in Russia. You can get stabbed, shot, poisoned, drowned,
castrated.
That
was on that list. Do not leave that off.
So to correct you a little bit, was it Nikolai?
Nikolai Romanov
suspected Rasputin. He was the only one that suspected Rasputin. The rest of the family was in, like, Rasputin's goal was to become the king or ruler or whatever. That was his goal. He was a freaking homogenistic, freaking hedonistic. He was freaking Hugh Hefner of Russia. Back during that time, only he wasn't taking photos. He was even seducing the ruler's wife at one point, which is what led to the stabbing, shooting, poisoning, blah, 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 blah.
Except one of them was done by a random prostitute. Like one of his deaths comes from a prostitute.
And then shortly after Rasputin dies, like that entire family gets killed.
Yeah.
Right? And then Anastasia is supposed to be the sole living member of the family left alive, but she was whisked away. She was a child. I think the story goes she was a baby.
She was a child that was whisked away in the whole thing of the revolution that happened at the Romanovs' house, and during the midst no one found her body, so the legend went that she is still alive somewhere, where they had someone was like, "Oh, I'm Anastasia Romanov. We totally believe you. Come in, we get you some brokey and turnip soup."
I saw this documentary on History Channel, and they were talking about the overthrowing of the Romanovs, and they actually found Anastasia's body and her brother Alexei's body in the forest like 2 weeks later, and that's where this theory came out, because they couldn't find the bodies where everyone else was, but they were taken out and shot and killed in the forest and buried there.
God.
So the myth of Anastasia living. So like the whole
back to the movie.
Yeah, the cartoon with the happy ending.
Cool shit, though.
Well, the actual movie I enjoyed. I remember watching it as a kid, and I enjoyed it. You know, it got into mysticism and kind of wizardry and sci-fi fantasy.
For the bad, don't even start.
But historically, Rasputin was already dead.
And
So he couldn't make it in the
then I
film.
kick her, sir.
And as Sally just said, Anastasia was also dead. So the film it was just a little Russian. I guess it was kind of like a Russian lullaby.
Yeah.
For many years.
Myth.
The Romanovs come back. We will see true, you know. Anyways, back to Fox.
Yeah, we got off on quite a tangent there.
But it's all in the same web, so it's cool.
Right?
It's all about Disney buying a huge portion of Fox.
Which also could mean, though, because there is an Anastasia musical, which I'm absolutely in love with, which follows a little bit more historically, like they keep some of the Disney movie but have more historical facts in it. They could make a live-action one like they done Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella and all that stuff, and I think that would be huge for them. Because that musical's, like, it's extremely successful right now.
Well, yeah, because Disney's still salty. They never made Wicked. That's the only reason they make all this.
They might do it.
I don't know that Disney will go near it, simply because it involves Russia and the country right now.
True.
I agree with you. I think it could be a hit.
Right, yeah.
You know, especially if they did it like Beauty and the Beast, where it's exactly the animated film. It's just done with live action.
Yeah.
But again, Disney's always kind of been, conservative when it came to. Well, however, they did touch on the whole gay topic in Beauty and the Beast, so I don't know.
Finally, but with the wrong character.
Well, with the wrong character, and it was very short-lived. It was not obvious at all, you know. So
Gaston was gay, damn it!
I don't see how that wasn't obvious.
No one's gay as Gaston.
I'm sorry, Gaston was gay. He, as a 9-year-old, called that one.
And Shreeves is just sitting there like, yeah, I knew he was gay. I'm just gonna sit here quietly.
No, I honestly thought it was Cogsworth.
Wait, what?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I always thought it was
honestly
Cogsworth.
could have called Cogsworth as being
Gaston,
gay.
I thought Cogsworth was bi at best.
No, I didn't think Gaston. I thought Gaston's buddy. Who was Gaston's buddy?
Oh.
You mean the little guy?
He was
I
too
thought that was his
conservative.
life partner.
Yes.
It's his life partner.
I didn't think it was Gaston. I thought it was his who plays him in the movie.
Josh Gad?
I can't even think of the character's
No,
name.
Josh
Fucking Olaf?
Groban? No,
Is it Olaf?
It's Josh.
Yeah,
it's
it's
Josh
Olaf.
Gad. Josh Gad.
Josh Gad, that's it.
Elder Cunningham from Book of Mormon.
We are not going into Mormonism. Back to the old topic.
Well, no,
But yeah,
he's
I
a
always
character
thought
in the
that
book.
Gaston was gay the whole time, but we're gonna get back onto the Fox deal.
Truthfully, I think if Disney does anything with the Marvel Universe, with the acquisition, it will be after the Infinity Gauntlet. Only because they have free reign. Once the Infinity Gauntlet movie occurs, the Infinity Wars is done, they have free reign to start the entire series over, which they've already said they're going to. everything starts fresh. It's a whole new universe, essentially. So now they can reintroduce the X-Men as part of the universe, have Spider-Man be the proper Spider-Man, and go with it that way.
I mean, we could still have Tom Holland be the actor, but give him a better story.
I like Tom Holland. He was better than Andrew Garfield when it came to, like, there's the scenes where he's chasing the Vulture. He's chasing the van over the rooftops after he went to the party and he decided to like skip out on the party and chase after the bad guys in the van. Was it the bad guys in the van, or was it Vulture?
Yeah.
I think it's both.
And he's doing rooftop to rooftop, and he's talking into himself. He's doing the inner monologue thing. While
that's something Spider-Man would do.
Right.
Not something he would do, something he did.
Yeah.
Constantly. So he was one of the few heroes that questioned every single action he did.
That's why Spider-Man,
except for getting life insurance, saving his marriage from Satan, thinking about the whole Whiplash effect with Gwen Stacy.
V, you're missing the bigger picture here. I am excited for not only possibly Wolverine's entry into, Marvel Universe Comics Cinematic Universe, Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Yo.
Yes!
Oh,
I want it so!
Greatest tag team duo in comic book history. Spider-Man and Deadpool. And maybe a little sprinkling of Wolverine in there, too.
Before Thanos destroys everything with the Infinity Wars, he has to grant Deadpool his immortality.
So he cannot get with his girlfriend Death.
That's right, he's friends with Death.
No,
well, they changed it in the movie, though.
Thanos got friend-zoned by Death, and Death wants to fuck Deadpool. It's the biggest clusterfuck triangle.
So the whole point is, Thanos curses freaking Deadpool to where Deadpool cannot die. And if at any point his entire being is destroyed, he will reappear on the planet he died somewhere. Just poof, there he is.
That would be an end of the credits scene at the end of Infinity War Part 2, I'd think. That would be like an end credits scene where Thanos is like, I couldn't beat them. Fuck you, Deadpool. You know?
Oh.
That's what it would be.
Oh. They have to do it.
We're getting into possibilities, B. We're getting into possibilities.
We are, and I'm just kind of shocked that Shweebes and Sally are so quiet. They're usually just very talkative ladies.
I'll be honest, I don't know too much about Marvel. I know more about like Batman and DC and stuff, so that's why let's get that.
Blasphemer.
Let's talk about that. I haven't seen Justice League yet.
Don't. For the love of God, don't.
Hey. It wasn't that bad. Superman in it was just as terrible. No, actually, no. I liked the Superman because he was a bad guy in this one.
Isn't he always
Superman
a bad guy?
Evil.
Oh, that was the thing I was thinking of when you guys were talking about like the movies, the TV possibilities where Marvel could actually go against DC now. Because you have like The Flash, you have Supergirl, you have Legends of Tomorrow. And the only thing that DC right now has is Gotham. Or
sadly,
Marvel,
DC has Legends of Tomorrow.
DC's on Tomorrow?
And Flash, and Arrow,
and Supergirl, and
the other side
is all DC.
Cross over from the cinematic universe and get on TV. That's what I'm saying. They can actually have competition for once.
The only thing that I think DC did wrong when it came to their TV cinematic universe, as opposed to their movie cinematic universe, is they didn't keep them in continuity. Now there is a theory that the Barry of Flash on the CW is a different Barry in a different dimension or a different timeline than Ezra Miller's Barry in the Justice League.
Oh, that's just like the Quicksilver thing going on with X-Men and with the Avengers.
But this theory actually ties it together because apparently in the Justice League movie there is a nod.
Oh yeah, Flashpoint! I forgot about fucking Flashpoint.
Yeah, because he made Flash.
There's a nod to Gustin's Flash in the Justice League movie. Apparently. I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it's there.
They didn't really show him, they just... It was
more of like an acknowledgement that there are multiple timelines, so there are multiple Flashes. And it's when Bruce Wayne meets the Flash in the Justice League or goes to recruit him.
Yeah,
Barry's desk or on his computer is like tracking the flashpoint and other stuff.
Oh yeah, trying to track the Speed Force.
From what I've gotten, again, I don't watch a lot of superhero stuff. I literally just watch Gotham and The Flash, I'm gonna be honest. But, what I see from a lot of these movies is that they could be really great, but they're too short. Like, if they could be TV series, I think that would be a lot more possibilities. So they could bring that to TV instead of movies and actually expand their universes better. So it'd actually be good for them. That was the point I was trying to make.
We shall see.
Yes.
Emperor Palpatine's behind the scenes just laughing right now.
Good.
What he's doing.
Let the hate flow through you.